Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Ka-Pow Comics, comic book store that I own and run, and I'm still just about keeping open through this pandemic, Volume 3. Today, we are going to be just doing New Comic Book Day. There's quite a lot of cool new stuff in this week in terms of comic books, but not much else. Well, some of the stuff that's supposed to be out this week isn't. Now, this isn't to say it's not going to turn up. It's not to say that we were invoiced for it. It hasn't turned up. It looks like we've got everything we asked for this week. But I think the delays that we saw a couple of weeks back, 3 weeks back, I think it was, where we ended up getting hardly anything and then a massive amount the next week, I think some of those are still kind of knocking on a little bit. I think it's mostly small press kind of things, but if you've got something on your pull list set up through League of Comic Geeks that you're expecting to see that isn't here, I am 99% certain it's just because it's not arrived in the UK yet. For people who don't know, pretty much every comic book store in the country, in fact all of us, get our stuff from the same supplier. Excuse me. So if it doesn't turn up, for us, chances are it's not turning up for anyone. All we have to do is wait. Unfortunately, it just happens sometimes. It's the problem when we're dealing with international suppliers, and the fact that during the pandemic stuff went terribly wrong and a lot hasn't really sorted itself out in almost a year now. But we've still got plenty of cool stuff in for you. One little side point. This has only just been relayed to me earlier this week. There's a guy on Twitch who plays Warhammer games. Apparently, him and my business partner have been chatting with each other, and my business partner has been sending him the new Warhammer 40,000 Marnius Calgar comic book. And he's basically been occasionally playing our comic book reviews on his Twitch channel. Chances are you won't see this one because this is just like what's out this week, and it's nowhere near as exciting, and it's a lot longer than 5 minutes, so you have to wait a lot longer. But if you're one of the people who actually watched it and subscribed and actually follows my videos, thank you. It's kind of cool that people do this kind of stuff because he's just another guy who's into stuff and talks about it online, just like I do. And it's like this kind of way that small businesses and independent artists and publishers should work together. It's fantastic. Keep it right the hell up. Anyway, stuff we've got that isn't comic books. Really not that much this week. Number one. Sally, sorry, I held it deliberately close to camera, kind of freak you out after how big the Jack was last week. This is actually just a regular size pop. It's nothing like huge, but we do like Jack and Sally here. Pretty much anything I see, which is Nightmare Before Christmas, we order it so they can turn up and people buy them because they're amazing. Other bit of thing which isn't a comic book is this Transformers toy, which was supposed to arrive last week but didn't. It's going to go on the pile of Transformers for the gentleman who's been picking these up gradually. It looks like he's absolutely huge and there's loads and loads up there. Basically, he can't come in at the moment for obvious reasons. He has been sending me money and paying for them. Don't worry, guys. He's cool. He now has Grimlock. I totally didn't realize this when I ordered it. Autobot Wheelie is in there as well. Look, little dude. And on the back, he's kind of cool. He's got a picture of him riding him, which I thought was just very, very funny. I almost swore there. Let's put that to one side, though. Now to graphic novels and other assorted stuff. This first one is not a new item whatsoever, but because I've been kind of like rediscovering how much cool stuff Vault Comics has done, I read this recently and was like, holy hell, it's good. Why didn't nobody tell me how good it was? And then I checked online and people reviewing it and saying it's amazing, so I've got extra copies of these Savage Shores. I'm going to go on a limb here and say, if you're a comic book fan, you are going to like this. It is superb. Everything about it is amazing. Buy it. It's great. On to stuff which isn't just me raving about it because it's amazing now. The latest one from AWA, Bad Mother. This one did get really, really good reviews, hence we get a couple of copies in. And if I remember correctly, because AWA are very, very cool, that is literally a £9 comic book for all the issues in one go. And because I've just picked up Redemption, which has the exact same creative team at the top there, and it is absolutely brilliant and already almost certainly going to be one of my best of the year ones, this one comes in a pretty big recommendation as well. To Amazing Spider-Man next. I assume this is the new one. We haven't been selling them really again because people can't come in and grab them. Yeah, Last Remains. That seems a very recent one. This one for our two guys who like stuff for the younger readers at the moment. We can get stuff like this in, but we don't get much of it. Most of our customers are at least teenagers. The vast majority are older than that. And this is Superman. It looks in style the animated one. But yeah, graphic novels for everyone. It's very cool that DC do this. Marvel tried doing it with the Spider-Man Adventures kind of thing, which was really, really cool. But they did 6 issues and then stopped. Other than that, they're doing the nice omnibus editions, which are very cool and very cheap. So yeah, get those. Also, we have Blade Runner. I will tell you, there's supposed to be an actual Blade Runner comic book out this week. It's not turned up. Like I say, it is just down to the fact that we are not getting stuff the way we should do from the States at the moment. It's going to arrive, I promise it will. Transformers 84 Secrets and Lies collection. We've got a few of this in, which is because I mistakenly ordered one of these for everyone who's there for the single issues. So, Um, Heavy Metal, 304, I think. Yeah, 304. Couple copies of those for dudes who order them. Again, this is something we would only get to order. These are not cheap magazines, like 15 quid, I think, or something ridiculous. No, not quite that much. 11.99, I think, something like that. They are really, really cool. If you want something like this, just let us know and get them in for you. Some part work stuff now. This is for just the one gentleman. He's going to have a nice big bill this week because he's got his regular and deluxe Batman, Legend of Batman collection. And this one, it's not technically a part work, but it's kind of coming out as if it is, and it's huge. Which is the Michael Moorcock Library Elric. The guy gets his one, though. Unfortunately, he's not up for getting stuff posted out. He doesn't really get much. He mostly gets 2,000 things. So this is going to sit here waiting for him to come and collect it. But it's huge, and I'm looking forward to grab it. I think he's going to be very happy with that one. Right, on to comic books now. Actually, let me just move some stuff around so I know where everything is when it comes to actually sorting out later, rather than having a big pile of random stuff. Comic books. Just one box. Nice and easy. Let's go. First issue of the brand new America Chavez. Issue 1 of the original one is going for a lot of money now, by the way, if you're lucky enough to get hold of one. Regular Avengers, into the part 4. Part 4? Yeah. Oh my god, just shut those up a little bit so don't fall over. And then Avengers Mech Strike, which is weird. More people are getting the Avengers Mech Strike than the actual Avengers. I don't know if this is just like something that happens in our store specifically, or it turns out giant robot mech warrior suits are cooler than superheroes. I mean, who could possibly know? Batman 106 now. First of all, this is the first big Batman one after, everything happened with Future State and what have you. Also featuring Robin, I think, because it's the first one back, yeah. It's a little bit more expensive. It's not crazy prices or anything, though. I think we'll have a couple spare if anyone wants. This is a good jumping on point. Next up, big release of the week. I'm going to show you a few different covers, starting with the least exciting. Don't get me wrong, it's kind of cool to do the blank covers. You can take these to conventions if conventions are going to happen again. And you get people to do artwork on them and sign them, and they end up being worth a lot of money. If you want the blank one, let us know. We only got one of that one. Cover A next. And the reason why it's the big one. Hey, look, dudes, dudettes, it's Keanu Reeves. Writing and starring in his own comic book. I mean, if other people do that, I'd be like, really? But it's Keanu. Everyone's going to be cool with it. But that's cover A, and then a few copies of cover B, where it looks a bit more, I was going to say Far Cry, not quite Far Cry, Uncharted, I think is what I was looking for there, but still very, very cool. We have a few spares of that one. I think we've got maybe 3 or 4. So if you see that and go, actually, Keanu Reeves in a comic book, yeah, let's give it a go. Give me a shout. We've got it. Buffy next, with a very, very cool cover. The moment I saw that one, I was a fan of it. I'm actually quite far behind in my Buffy reading at the moment. I don't know what the heck's going on there, but I like the look of it. Speaking of AWA earlier, their latest one, Chariot. I think somebody used the word vaporwave to describe this. I know what vaporwave is. I didn't mean to. It was just a totally random thing that a friend of mine told me about. Apparently, that is a vaporwave comic book. It's also about Brian Edward Hill, who's okay. I keep waiting for him to amaze me, though. He has so many cool ideas and does like great concept pieces, but his actual month-to-month writing, unfortunately, never puts it up there. Never becomes this great writer as a result of it. Chasing the Dragon, which is back order because we had it in last week and sold out straight away. A new one in today. Tyler Ross, Dead Dog's Bite. Now, sometimes when I talk about covers, I talk about the ones that pop off the page. Sometimes go for a minimalist look. The kid covers for Amazing Spider-Man was fantastic. There's something about that one which is just haunting, and I can't wait to read it. Dark Horse is a comic that's been going for a very long time, and I like a lot of stuff they do, but they never really rank as my favorites. But still, that one does look cool. Peach Momoko now, Demon Days X-Men. I think we only have enough of this for people who ordered it. In fact, maybe not even that. Some people added it on late in the day, so I do apologize. She's a very, very popular artist at the moment. A bit more standard stuff now. Oh, hang on. Right way up. Yep, there we go. Engine Ward. Just adjust these. I don't want anything to happen to them. Fear Case number 2. Matt Kint, is that? Yeah, Matt Kint. Issue 1 of it totally sold out into a second printing. So if you didn't get it from us, you just, I might have to pick it up elsewhere. I'm sorry about that one. Hellions number 10. One of our X titles for the day. That might be our only one. DC Infinite Frontier. This is basically the big launch thing for what's basically happened post Future State. I think like the Generation Shattered, which is kind of the end of the previous one. Infinite Frontiers is the start of the next one. Odd way to do it. I'd have put Generation Shattered like before Future State if it was me, but what can you do? But it does involve an awful lot of the DC pantheon of heroes. I might just flick through it, see something cool, but I don't really read that much DC. Like, unless there's going to be some Hellblade stuff in there. This actually is a subtitle. Agent of Spectre. There we go. James Bond, Agent of Spectre. Been a while since I've really picked up a James Bond one. I think did the Young James Bond, which I read issue 1 of, which was kind of cool, but yeah. Some King in Black now, and bear with me, I have to pull these out separately. They've all got the same branding on the corner, makes it a bit of a pain. Captain America issue 1. Gwenom versus Carnage, which does look fun. This one is on for the 2 people who ordered it, the handbook. Handbooks are an odd little thing they do. It is just mostly information, but every once in a while, very rarely, there is some like cool bit of information in there or a first appearance-esque trick, and they end up being very, very collectible down the line. Thunderbolts next. Moon Knight looking pretty cool on that cover, if I'm honest. And probably the most popular one we've had of this series, Wiccan and Hulkling, which has a lot of people who like it, which means we have totally sold out already, and I've got more on order. This is one of those situations where we were only going for what people ordered and 1 extra, basically the 2 guys who were down for all of their King in Black stuff, and then I thought 1 more for the shelf, but a few extra people have had that one on for us. I should have jumped ahead a bit more on the curve on that one. Wiccan and Hulkling always do well for us. Next up, Man-Bat issue 2 versus the Suicide Squad. We've got some Suicide Squad coming later as well. Speaking of Marvel's younger reader stuff, this is issue 1 of Captain Marvel, and I really like the fact they got Ghost Spider on the cover there as well, because she's cool. Another big release this week, although now still I think only 1 person is down for it. Scott Snyder and Tony S. Daniels doing Nocterra. This is one that did as a huge Kickstarter and made a buttload of money. I'm looking forward to it because I really like Tony S. Daniels' artwork. I think he's absolutely amazing. Scott Snyder, I can take or leave. I'm hoping it's going to be good. And there's a lot of stuff in the back there as well. But in fact, let's just 1 random page about why I like him so much. Just that kind of widescreen stuff reminds me of like early Authority and things like that. And just really like eye-popping kind of artwork. One of my favorite horror comics at the moment, The Plot, which I think is Vault again. Yeah, just read stuff from Vault, guys. Power Pack Outlawed, issue 4, just for the people who are down for that one. Rick and Morty Worlds Apart. Hey, look, dragons. Another launch from DC today, Sensational Wonder Woman. I think the Sensational Wonder Woman has been used before, but I still kind of like it. And that is a very, very bold cover. That is like a full character in action kind of thing. Again, it's a bit of an advert for it rather than part of the story, but I still think it looks cool. Supposed to arrive last week, but we were shy. Something's killing the children, so if you're waiting for that one, it has turned up. Star Wars High Republic. We are a couple short on this one again, because a lot of people after issue 2 turned up. And then we also got the second printing of issue 1, did add it on, and I fell behind a little bit. Luckily, it's still available in print when I spotted that we're short of it. So next week we should get the extras that we're missing. Big launch one again from DC, Suicide Squad. Regular old Star Wars. There is a Star Wars missing. In fact, there's another DC one. This is Swamp Thing supposed to be out this week, but just did not turn up. I'd have to double check that one to see if it's an issue just with us. But I fairly sure I've got it on order. I've got like 5 on order. But yeah, Beast Wars, regular Transformers around. This is another launch title this week that's on my pull list, because if you've been paying any attention to me whatsoever, you know how much I love the original Undone by Blood, which is kind of like a dual narrative Western kind of story. And I'm really looking forward to see if this is as good as the original, because honestly, it blew my mind how much I like that one. Usagi, these are a couple of back orders now. Usagi Jimbo Wanderer's Road. Some reason we never got issue 1 of that one. And Vampiro Dark Powers, because some people had it on when they saw that issue 2 was out. So we had to put issue 1 on back order. One other thing. Let me just see if I can find the correct tab. Oh, here we go. Copy that. Jump back to eBay and go boop. That is the one per store Berserker we got. because there's loads of covers and there's loads of store exclusive covers, and there's incentive covers. Like there's some ridiculous incentive covers. Even though we were expecting it to do quite well, I think we only ordered like 12 in total. So there's really not much we've got in the way of like really obviously collectible covers unless people go for the full set. But that is one you can only get one per store. Only once in the time I've known they've done the one per store variant, they've done a reprint, and that was The Walking Dead Negan Lives, and we sold the regular issue, like first printing one per store for 150. The second printing we sold for 75. I don't think Berserker's quite going to do that one because Walking Dead already had like a whole bunch of collectible stuff going along with it. But just in case, there it is. Check it out if you want it. Put a bid on it. I think I've started like 10 out. I'm not going crazy with it. We'll see how many more over the course of the day, see what they go for. But that's probably the biggest thing we've had in all week. I think that's it. I'm definitely going to come back and do a review before I go home. Probably going to be Berserker because it is the big one, and I also want to check out. It's on my pull list. I'm a Keanu Reeves fan myself. I think that's everything. If you don't get an invoice today, it's not my usual like, oh my god, I've got so much to do. It's just because a lot of stuff is either not turned up or it's a small delivery or it's been delayed to the UK. So some people might only have like one or two things. And if they're expecting more than that, they might have been expecting an invoice. I'm looking at whoever's talking to me online at the moment. I'm fairly sure you've got just two. If you want an invoice, give me a shout. Because usually I just leave if it's only two comic books. But yeah, that's it. I'm done. I'm going to go and start work on stuff and get things done. Look after yourself. Stay safe. Bye.